Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's a beautiful, snowy, cold day in South Dakota, but we'll take it. It is awesome out, and we're going to just walk around the farm today, do some things. Got to put some stuff in the compost, collect some eggs, and I think Ryan's working on a new trailer that we got, well, a used trailer. So let's get going. All right, so we're going to take a walk on over to the compost bin and get that all situated. There we go. Dump everything in. And we give it a good turn. Gonna head down and see the chickens. They can hear me, so they're squawking. Get my egg basket first. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. How's everybody doing? We got a holdout out there. But they're doing good. It's a cold day, they're out and about. I'm gonna plug back in their water heater, shut their light off. You hear these girls? Hello, ladies. Come on, girls. I'll let them out a little bit later on, because they're still laying. And it's snowy out. They won't be too thrilled about it, but I'll see if I can get some footage of them doing that later on. All right, let's go drop off the eggs and see what Ryan's doing. Actually, let's stop over here first. So that's our meat bird coop. If you watch the homestead tour, we had meat birds in here. That's the layers we just came out of. And that's our feed building. And then there's our pig shelter floor. We ordered the wood to build the rest of the building, so we're waiting on that to come. So that gives you an idea of how we have things set up now.
Picked up a used trailer around the place, and from experience earlier this year, we bought a camper and didn't check the wheel bearings. And on the first trip with it, the wheel bearings went out and ruined the axle shaft. So, lesson learned on this used trailer. It's probably a good idea when you buy one to either check the wheel bearings yourself or have get a local mechanic or something like that. Check them out. But this shaft here, there's a burr on the shaft where the seal runs, so we're just cleaning that up to get ready for the new bearings. Just using a light emery cloth, you don't need to take a lot of material off. You just want to take off any rough edges or any burrs that will make the seal fail. Seals are rubber and they'll get chewed up. Yeah, we're good on this one. Now we'll start getting ready to reassemble. What we're going to do now is hand back the inner bearing. Make a tool for this. This is, I found this just to be easier. So basically, just put a grease on your hand, and then just work the bearing over the grease, and you'll see it push through like that. Once it's pushed through, you have grease through the bearing, and you're going to want to do that all the way around. So with the inner bearing back now, we'll go ahead and put this into the hub and insert the seal. So we have the hub here. We'll place the bearing in the hub. And I've already put the bearing race in, the new bearing races inside the hub. Here you have a bearing seal. This is a rubber seal. Keeps the grease inside the hub and the bearings greased. One important thing when you're doing bearings is make sure you keep everything, fairly clean. You don't want to get any grit or dust or dirt in your bearings, and because it'll lead to wearing out quickly. Also, you don't want to use the hammer directly on the bearing. I typically just use a block of wood. You want to work it down evenly. Make sure you go from side to side or end to end. This one's in. The other thing I'll use is a brass punch. Brass is much lighter than the steel, and you won't damage the bearing race seal or the bearing. So you just want to give it a tap, make sure it's seated in all the way. This one's all set. Now we'll take the hub with the new bearing, inner bearing and seal, and put it on the shaft. That seems to be in there pretty well. And then we'll go ahead and pack the outer bearing. And just follow the same process we did on the inner bearing. Then you see the grease coming through. You want to make sure you do that all the way around the bearing, as I mentioned before. You can see that grease coming up through, that's just being forced up through the bottom. And I just make sure the outer part's covered. The outer part of the bearing, just some extra grease. I'll do the same on the hub. That's just the way I do it. I prefer to make sure I have plenty of grease. That's essentially all I did, is put some extra grease in the center of the hub. And then you'll go ahead and slide your outer bearing onto the shaft. And sometimes, like this one, will need to be tapped in a little bit so it seats properly. And again, we're using the brass punch. As I mentioned before, you always want to make sure keep your tools clean when doing bearings. I find you really don't want to get grease or grit and such. Okay, once you have your outer bearing seated, you want to put on there's a washer that goes on first, pretty thick washer that goes up against the bearing. And the last thing you put on is the castle, that they call it, I believe it's a castle nut. This has some of these slots in it, and then there's a hole drilled through the shaft. So once you put the nut on, want to put the nut on until we're pretty much just hand tight for right now. So right now we're hand tight, and then I'm just looking to see if there's play inner and outer to the hub on the shaft. You basically don't want it to move. Here we're pretty good, but if you only have the nut in that far and say start moving the hub, you can't have that. So you want to make sure everything's placed in, tighten the gas and whatnot. This only has to be, like I said, hand tight. We don't want to tighten it with a wrench. You'll put too much force on the bearings. So you'll see where you line up with your cotter pin. So we're going to go ahead and put the cotter pin in. You see it comes through. And then you'll just bend the tabs over on the cotter. So you just want to bend that down because you're going to have to put a dust cover on. So you want to make sure it's fairly tight against it. And that keeps this nut from going anywhere. And then again, you want to check your plate from inside outside. We're good here. Everything turns freely. And then we'll just clean up the dust cap and reinstall that. Make sure there's no grease or, not grease, but dirt and debris. Anything that can cause the bearings to wear. This one looks pretty good. And what I'll do is just put a little bit more grease in the end cap. Or actually on the end of the shaft. Just to make sure there's plenty of grease. My thought is you probably can't over grease it, but then again, that's just my thought. So with the dust cap clean, we're ready to put that on. Then you just want to tap that into the seats against the hub. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall the tire and rim and go to the other side. And then with the tire reinstalled, just check, make sure everything works freely, and I think we're good to go.
Okay, so We bought that trailer used, obviously, so we could haul a side-by-side. And so now I'm gonna go down. It's a little warmer out. I think the chickens are done laying eggs. So we're gonna see if they wanna come out in the snow. You guys wanna come out in the snow? Let's see what you do. Is it a yes or a no? You don't look sure. Not really quite sure what you want to do. Maybe if I come out. What kind of chickens are you in South Dakota? Normally they come running right out. Today they don't want to come out in the snow. Oh, maybe. They are so funny. Let's see if I call them, will they come out? Come on, girls! Come on, girls! Good girls! Good girls! You can do it! Come on, girls! They're still not sure. It's so funny. Come on! Well, we managed to get 3 out. The others still aren't sure. They certainly don't look impressed. All right, everybody, that's what we got for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that way you get notified every time we put out a new video. And don't forget to hit that like button. And remember, our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of December. Right now, it doesn't look like we're gonna make it. So help us out. Please hit that subscribe button. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.